Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. There is an excellent quote here in one of Mufti Menk's books, volume 1 of Motivational Moments, and I wanted to share it with you. Bismillah. Stay calm if someone gossips or backbites you. They're taking away your bad deeds and giving you their good ones as they engage in bad acts. So the backbiting and then gossip. It's a hard one because sometimes sincere admonitions can be seen as sort of backbiting, or you're warning someone of something, or you're calling a spade because you have to have discernment and know when someone is doing a strategy or an acting. It's hard to know people's intentions, but sometimes actions speak louder than words. And trying to remain calm is not easy. I definitely have some problems with that. Impulsivity. I think a lot of Americans do. Trash talking, WWE persona, trying to go at it is a problem and lands actually quite a lot of people in prison. Don't you say? And people die every day over something they say. It's not easy. So many of us, because of that culture, can recall when you've seen a fight break out in school and one girl approaches the other and says, "Hey, I heard you talking smack," and then next thing you know, fists are flying and it's chaos. I was expelled from several schools for fighting in my youth, and looking back, I should just mind my own business. This is why I tell my eldest, go to school, get in, get out, get on with your life. It's not the most important thing. No one there really matters in the end. Most will forget about you. Teachers, they have so many students, you're not really going to stand out too much. Just do your best. Make the most of it. But don't talk smack about anyone in school, because some youths are dealing with a lot of pain. And because of that pain, they want to lash out and get some clout from their peers. And some of the only ways some people can get any attention is negative attention. Many rather be known as the one who can break a jaw, or fight, or brawl, and harm you, rather than being the smart nerd. Because, unfortunately, the nerds have been kind of mocked and not seen as cool, and gang and thug culture has taken more of the top position. I'm guilty of this when I was in my youth, and it worked. It was something I did to survive. You had to fight really well, and people left you alone at a certain point. Self-defense, or just fighting in general, isn't just about fighting off men. It's often about being able to put another woman in her place who seeks to harm you. And when there's like a pimple-faced fat girl who has a lot of pain and she's bigger than you, you need to know how to defend yourself, because she'll try to make an example out of you. And some women who've got a bad face card, they'll lash out, and you have to protect yourself. Gossip in high school is very high, and it hurts. And a lot of people, they want to get their honor back, and they feel that the only way they can get their honor back is through physical force. And I've told my eldest as well, don't trust anybody in your inner friend circle with your actual true opinions that are negative about some people. Because as soon as you stop being friends with that person, they will notify them of what you said. Friend today is an enemy tomorrow. And whatever you do say, you have to stand on business. You have to not lie and be like, yes, I do believe this about you, huh? And one of the rawest things some young girls have to learn is that if you talk you're gonna get hit. So you have to be ready to back it up. So if you're gonna run your mouth, and then someone runs up on you and says, "You say this," you have to stand 10 toes down. Like, yeah, I said it. And some people are taken aback by that because they want you to cower. Because part of you cowering is how they're gonna get some of their honor back. By you denying what you said, placating them, and squirming, they somehow can get away with not fighting you if they're able to make you grovel and shiver. But if you stand on business and say, "Yeah, I said it," you got about 10 seconds, I'd argue, before you get swung on. And if someone is just talking, and they're putting their nose to your nose, to me, that's where you swing first. Because you have to watch out if someone gets the upper hand. And usually, the one who swings first seems to have more control over the scenario. But I just really try to tell my eldest, just go to school, avoid people. But we've had her in self-defense training, karate, taekwondo, since she was in preschool. And inshallah, I plan on doing the same with my other 2 children, inshallah. Because I think being able to defend yourself against evil is important. A lot of men think self-defense is just about them, and they kind of get off with saying, like, "I could just do this to you and you can't do anything back." Yes, there are some men who are going to be stronger. But there are times where a woman has to defend herself from another woman. And maybe you live in a nice community where girls don't do that. But others live a raw existence, and if you get beat up, you lose a lot of social credit in your school, and you actually get more bullying. I remember there was a chick, we were at the McDonald's, and she was a pretty girl, and a really brutish, ugly chick. She said something about her. She walloped her like a rag doll in the McDonald's. I still can picture it. And she just never recovered from that dishonor. None of the dudes stepped in. The bigger girl beat her up and then dashed out. And then the girl who pummeled her was seen as like, she got the crown. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Let that girl know she better watch her tongue. And subhanallah, it was very common. Very common. And when you come from another country and you come to America, if you're going to live in some of these school districts where it's dog eat dog, and you're not going to have a conversation with your daughter about self-defense, I think you're setting her up to be someone else's piñata. But one of the best ways to stay out of trouble, connecting it back to what Mufti Menk said, don't overreact when someone's gossiping, but also don't gossip. Now at work, you're an adult, you might say something, but don't be excessive. Because I can see people are just gossip merchants, and what they're doing is they want you to gossip so that they can keep it in their vault, and then use it when when there's an opportunity to use it for their advantage. So they gossip farm. They want you to divulge what you really think about someone, so they can use it as a weapon against you. And also remember, even in relationships with your significant other, you don't overly tell your thoughts to your other person, because if you get a divorce, in divorce court, he or she, they can tell those people what you said. People become bitter enemies sometimes. A friend today is an enemy tomorrow, and they're going to spill the beans. So whatever you say, you better be ready to admit it and accept what comes with it. That is a hard pill to swallow for people. And if more people live by that, I think we'd have a better world. Are you willing to get hit or have something terrible happen to you if as a result of what you're saying? Like, look at Chud the Builder, the racist dude. Goes around instigating, calling people the hard N, bad behavior, and then he gets a reputation for this, a dual reputation. The white Nats Christians who praise him, and he's enjoying soaking it up, right? He's lost in the sauce. And then the antithesis rises and is ready to come at him. And that is where someone has so much rage because you have decided to degrade them based off of the skin pigmentation that their maker designed them with. And then you have to deal with what you created. You created that. Allah is the creator of all things. What I mean is, because you kept running off at the mouth, you were only looking at the positive, what they see as positive, the love. Oh yes, let's bask in this energy. And meanwhile, there's something rising behind you that you're also feeding with that behavior. And you've consented to growing that because you have produced this on the other side. Antithesis, synthesis, it's all coming together. And it's important to recognize that. I don't think enough people acknowledge that. Freedom of speech. And then they say, oh, but you don't have freedom of consequences. Oh, but you're not just going to get the praise. You're also going to get what comes with it. And if you keep running your mouth, you've consented to that. You've consented to it. You can't truly complain. Inshallah, if someone asks me, did you say this? Did you just say that? And if I really remember and everything is like, my memory is good, I don't got dementia or Alzheimer's, I'll be like, yeah, I said it. And here's why. Sometimes, if someone has gossip or backbiting you, it can actually help you if you follow me here. I've had bad behavior that I did, and because I heard down the grapevine someone complain about it, I was able to change it. No one came and advised me regularly, like, hey, you shouldn't do this. Instead, someone was gossiping, backbiting me. I heard about it, and then I was like, oh snap, that's true, I did do that. Oh, okay, gotta stop. And that is important. If it's true, it's gonna sting, but can you fix it? Think about it. So, having patience with gossip is important. And if you're guilty of what they're saying, I think you have to take those lashes, take those licks. You really do. Because you're guilty. You are. And that's painful. But it's part of the regrowing process. You know? Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Join the blog.